If you've been in the cryptocurrency space for more than a day, you've probably come across the term Ethereum killer. This buzzword has been used to describe all manner of smart contract blockchains that are competing with Ethereum, the current leader in the smart contract field. To be blunt, most of these so-called Ethereum killers are either far from being a threat to Ethereum, or have even emphasized that they want to coexist with Ethereum, not kill it. However, Cardano is not one of these pretender projects. Cardano has been much more upfront about its intentions to tackle Ethereum, and many think it could indeed do that. In the next few weeks and months, Cardano will be introducing smart contracts, tokenized assets, and even an ERC20 token converter to its third-generation blockchain. Today, I'm going to cover all these updates and more. By the end of this video, you'll have all you need to know about Cardano's recent developments and near-future roadmap. I'll even be giving you my very own ADA price prediction, so be sure to stick around. Before we break out the big guns, I need to bring one or two things to your attention. First, I am not a financial advisor, and nothing I say during this video should be considered financial or investment advice. Second, I do personally hodl Cardano's ADA token. It makes up around 3% of my crypto portfolio, and if you watch until the end, I'll show you what that other 97% looks like. That said, this video is not sponsored by Cardano or any Cardano-related company or any Cardano staking pools. Heck, I don't even run YouTube ads on my videos. This is because my mission is to bring you, the viewer, the best information you can get about your favorite cryptocurrency projects, exchanges, DeFi protocols, and much more without the influence of any third parties. If this is something you can get behind, consider subscribing to the Bureau. I upload almost every day, so hitting that notification bell will ensure you stay up to date with the latest and greatest in crypto. Alright, that's enough red tape. Let's get to the good stuff, shall we? A lot has changed since I covered Cardano in June. For the purposes of this video, I'm just going to assume that you're familiar with Cardano. I'll start by breaking down some of the most important developments that have taken place since I last covered the project. Remember that there are timestamps in the video description that you can use to skip to the subjects you find the most appetizing. At the end of July, Cardano successfully underwent its Shelley hard fork upgrade. Shelley is the second stage of Cardano's development roadmap and is still technically in process. The Shelley upgrade delivered decentralization to Cardano by introducing ADA staking. The first month of staking was incredibly successful, with over 440 stake pools staking a whopping 13.6 billion ADA tokens from over 40,000 unique addresses. For context, only around 30 billion ADA were in circulation at the time. Staking rewards were also higher than anticipated, paying out nearly $1 million worth of ADA when the first round of staking rewards was distributed near the end of August. Don't worry, I'll return to staking in a moment. At the end of August, Cardano founder Charles Hoskinson admitted to being obsessed with DeFi and announced that IOHK, the company which develops Cardano, would work with Emergo, Cardano's enterprise arm, to launch an algorithmic stablecoin to rival MakerDAO's DAI stablecoin. In September, IOHK launched Project Catalyst, an initiative which seeks to bolster development on the Cardano blockchain. The first funding round offered an ADA grant worth $250,000. Anyone can submit a development proposal, and who gets the money will be determined by community vote via a mobile app. At the time of shooting, the top proposals for the first funding round are currently being reviewed by IOHK, and voting will begin in the near future. I'll leave a link to Project Catalyst in the description if you'd like to participate or believe that you have a development idea for Cardano that's worth a few $100,000. In October, Cardano released the roadmap for Goguen, its third development milestone, and even demoed a seemingly functional ERC20 converter, which, as the name suggests, allows you to migrate assets from Ethereum to Cardano. More on this in a bit. Finally, Cardano made the news in early November when Charles Hoskinson extended an olive branch to Donald Trump, essentially offering to build a blockchain voting platform to ensure a transparent election with no delays. I don't know about you, but I do wish Trump had taken Charles up on that offer. Now, back to ADA staking. I bet you're wondering how it works and if it's worth it. I'll give it to you straight. Staking on Cardano is a no-brainer. This is for many reasons. First, there's no lockup period. You can unstake your ADA at any time. Compare this to staking on Ethereum 2.0, where your ETH might be locked for a year or more. You can learn more about Ethereum 2.0 staking by watching this video here. Second, you can stake ADA from the safety of your Daedalus or Yoroi wallet. Third, you can switch to another staking pool whenever you want, and can even stake in multiple pools if you are using the Yoroi wallet. Fourth, ADA staking rewards are reasonable and not alarmingly inflationary. Staking rewards on Cardano are currently around 5% per year, depending on staking pool conditions, and rewards are paid in ADA roughly every 5 days. It should come as no surprise then that over 20 billion ADA are currently being staked, accounting for over 60% of all ADA in circulation. I'll leave a staking calculator in the description for your convenience. Speaking of staking pool conditions, there is a very important update around the corner that you should take note of if you are currently staking ADA or plan on doing so in the near future. Staking pools on Cardano are designed so that the network does not become dominated by a handful of nodes. In fact, the goal is to have as many staking pools as possible to ensure a high degree of decentralization. This is the whole point of the Shelley upgrade, and Cardano hopes to become 50 to 100 times more decentralized than Bitcoin. To achieve this decentralization, staking rewards in a given pool go down as the pool reaches a saturation point. Basically, once the amount of ADA being staked in a pool goes over a certain threshold, it offers diminishing staking returns. In other words, if too much ADA is being staked in a pool, the ADA rewards can go down to near zero. This incentivizes staking pool operators to modify their pool parameters so that their returns stay profitable and motivates stakers to take their ADA somewhere else for the same reason. The current saturation point is 210 million ADA, but this saturation point will be reduced to just 64 million ADA starting December the 6th. I know what you're thinking, and the answer is no. If you forget to move your staked ADA to another pool, you won't lose your ADA tokens, you'll just earn very little staking rewards or even none at all. I'll leave a link in the description if you want to learn more about how all of this saturation stuff works and how these changes might affect you, since I can't answer all those questions here. Also, be sure to choose your staking pools carefully. Cardano staking pools seem to have a lot of influence in the Cardano community, and some are even running ads on Google. Be sure to do your own research to make sure you don't end up wasting your time in the shallow end of some deadbeat staking pool. Now that you've got the hang of Shelley and staking, let's see what to expect from the next stage of Cardano's development. As mentioned earlier, Goguen is the third stage of Cardano's development roadmap. It's named in memory of Joseph Goguen, a computer scientist who taught at the University of California and the University of Oxford, and was also researcher at IBM and Stanford Research International. Goguen will introduce smart contracts to the Cardano blockchain, making it a direct competitor to Ethereum. Unlike the Shelley upgrade, which took 5 years to develop and implement, Goguen is only expected to take a few months and should be completed around February 2021. Given Cardano's infamous history of delays, some people are not holding their breath with this deadline. However, given that Goguen has already been in development for some time and much of the groundwork has already been laid down, I think we might see smart contracts on Cardano much sooner than we think. Smart contracts on Cardano begin with Plutus. Plutus is a Turing-complete programming language based on Haskell, a relatively new programming language that's actively used by IOHK, the company which develops Cardano. If you're wondering how Plutus compares to Solidity, Ethereum's programming language, the biggest difference is that both on- and off-chain code for Cardano smart contracts can be written in Plutus alone, whereas Ethereum can require the use of multiple programming languages to create certain smart contracts involving both on- and off-chain elements. Smart contracts on Cardano can also be built using a programming language called Marlow. Marlow is basically Plutus for dummies and allows those with non-technical knowledge to easily create financial smart contracts that can interact with real-world data. The cool thing about Marlowe is that you do not even necessarily need to write a single line of code. Instead, you can just stack different pre-programmed blocks together to create a smart contract. Plutus smart contracts can be tested using the Plutus platform testnet, and Marlowe smart contracts can be tested using the Marlowe Playground testnet. If you're interested in learning Plutus or Marlowe, there are actually Udemy courses for both, and even an ebook for Plutus. Oh, I almost forgot. I bet you want to hear about that ERC20 token converter, don't you? The release of Goguen will not just introduce smart contracts to Cardano, it's also going to introduce a multi-currency ledger. This will make it possible to create digital assets like new cryptocurrency tokens and NFTs on the Cardano blockchain. These Cardano native tokens will be similar to the ERC20 tokens we see on Ethereum with a few minor differences. The two differences that are most relevant to you and me are that multiple different Cardano native tokens can be sent in a single transaction, and sending these tokens will not require paying gas in ADA. I should note that this is something that's still currently being discussed. From what I was able to gather, you will have the choice of paying gas in either ADA or the tokenized asset you're transferring. It's also worth noting that gasless sends are actually also available on Ethereum, and stablecoins such as USDC have already implemented this feature. While Cardano native assets and ERC20 tokens may be similar, Cardano is taking a different approach to tokens than Ethereum by trying to treat them as, quote, first-class citizens. In practice, this means that Cardano's multi-currency ledger will make any tokens made on the blockchain have much more autonomy. They won't be another cookie-cutter token like ERC20 tokens. According to Charles Hoskinson, the way this will be designed will make it easier for tokens built on Cardano to list on exchanges, since they will be able to prove a greater degree of independence than ERC20 tokens. While I'm not entirely sure I agree with that, I see what he's getting at, and it's certainly a good attitude to have when it comes to tokenization. Now for the spicy part, Cardano's ERC20 token converter. As I mentioned earlier, Cardano demoed their ERC20 token converter in October. I watched the demo as part of the research for this video, and to say that Ethereum should be concerned is an understatement. I'll leave a link to the demo in the description. Without getting under the hood, Cardano's ERC20 token converter will give token issuers on Ethereum 3 options to migrate their tokens to Cardano. The first option is to airdrop newly minted Cardano native tokens to the wallets of their choice. This one will probably not be used too much since it will have a dilutive effect on supply. The second option is to lock their tokens into a smart contract on Ethereum and mint an equal amount of Cardano native tokens on the Cardano blockchain. This is actually something that's been done by many projects, most notably Wrapped Bitcoin and RenBTC, which lock up Bitcoin to issue tokenized versions of Bitcoin on Ethereum. The third option is by far the most interesting, and it involves burning ERC20 tokens using an Ethereum smart contract to mint an equal amount of Cardano native tokens. The team at IOHK has promised to help ERC20 token issuers with all 3 types of migration. This is significant because IOHK is not just another development team. Much of the team, including Charles Hoskinson himself, have extensive experience with Ethereum. To really drive that point home, Hoskinson noted that he wants to bring as many tokens from Ethereum to Cardano as he can, and has apparently stated that he wants to bring all ERC20 tokens to Cardano. If it were anyone else saying this, I would suggest they seek mental help, but Charles is no ordinary man. He is one of the co-founders of Ethereum and could be said to have an in-depth knowledge of how it works and not just the code. This certainly makes Cardano an especially viable threat to Ethereum in this regard. In any case, for the time being, ADA is the only token on Cardano. It's been making the news with its market moves, and that can only mean one thing: price prediction. We are at the start of a bull market, and everyone is wondering how big their bags are going to get. If there's anything I know about the cryptocurrency market, it's that fundamentals often don't justify price swings. You need to look no further than all of those shitcoins that randomly pump out of nowhere. In any case, Cardano is in a really good position for this bull run. For starters, Cardano is known to be a competitor to Ethereum, and many people are aware of how deep that competition goes. Cardano has also regularly been in the news thanks to the strength of its marketing team and the antics of Charles Hoskinson. Most importantly, ADA is a top 10 cryptocurrency, and that is going to put it on the radar of any newcomers to the crypto space. Even on-chain metrics are looking bullish, with an apparent 200% spike in new ADA addresses in recent weeks. This is almost certainly due to Cardano's fair and flexible staking, which has seen some of the highest participation in the cryptocurrency space. This lax staking is a double-edged sword, however, because it means that everyone who is staking could just as easily make their way to an exchange and liquidate their holdings. By the same token, though, this amazing network participation just goes to show you that people are not only aware of Cardano, they have a deeper sense of its significance compared to other cryptocurrencies. So, how high could ADA go? Well, the harsh reality is that, like most other altcoins, Cardano is heavily correlated to Bitcoin. In other words, how high it will go is going to depend quite heavily on Bitcoin's price movement. If you watched my video on how to plan your ultimate altcoin exit strategy, you'll know that the upper limit on how big your project can grow is effectively set by Bitcoin's market cap. And as much as I love Cardano, I don't think it's going to be bigger than Ethereum either. But I could see it being in the top 5 cryptocurrencies for sure. To keep things simple, let's assume that Cardano rises up the ranks to a market cap of roughly 20 billion in the next few months. This would make the price of ADA roughly 60 cents, a 4x move from its current price. Let's also assume that Bitcoin makes it to 100k during this bull market, a 5x move from where it is now. Assuming that the top 5 coins will see the same 5x move, with the exception of Tether, of course, which is a stablecoin, this means that ADA could reach a high of around $3 during this bull run. That might be disappointing to some of you, but it's important to remember that this is a conservative estimate and also works out to a 20x move from ADA's current price of 15 cents. I reckon this is a realistic expectation, given that the market cap of ADA is already quite large. The best part about Cardano is that ADA token allocation is fairly equitable, at least compared to many other altcoins, and the amount of inflation being used to pay staking rewards is also not very aggressive. This means that you probably aren't going to have to worry too much about any whales dumping their ADA as the price rises higher, and inflation won't eat away at your gains while you hodl your ADA to new all-time highs in the coming months and years. Alright, ladies and gents, I think that just about covers it for today. Cardano has made remarkable progress over its last few months by rolling out its Shelley testnet and introducing ADA staking to the network. Unlike many other cryptocurrency projects, Cardano has seen a significant amount of participation from ADA token holders, with well over 50% of the current circulating supply sitting in over 1,500 staking pools. This is thanks to their seamless staking conditions, allowing ADA holders to stake directly from the safety of their wallets, switch between staking pools, and even stake in multiple pools while earning a reasonable annual return that doesn't involve an ungodly amount of token printing. Needless to say, Cardano is well on its way to winning a gold medal in decentralization, and further adjustments to staking pool parameters in the coming months will only accelerate the project to that end. Goguen, the next stage of Cardano's development, is just on the horizon and well within sight. Not only will this bring smart contracts to Cardano, Goguen will also introduce Cardano native assets, a token standard that can be used to create new tokens and NFTs which will have more independence than ERC20 tokens on Ethereum. In fact, Cardano is hoping that the design of their native assets will prompt token issuers on Ethereum to migrate to the Cardano blockchain, and the IOHK team is ready to help them do just that. Whether Cardano will overtake Ethereum remains to be seen, but if there is any project that you could truly call an Ethereum killer, Cardano is the one. The future of Cardano is extremely bullish, and ADA's recent price action seems to be the beginning of what may be one of the largest price moves in the top 10 cryptocurrencies. So, keep calm, hodl on, and remember to set reasonable expectations for your exit strategy, assuming you have one. If you've made it this far, I'd like to thank you for feeding the YouTube algorithm with your attention. Your support is what keeps this channel going, so make sure to hit that like button, smash that subscribe button, and destroy that notification bell to tell the algorithm gods that you want more juicy crypto content from the Bureau. If you really want to show your support, well, you can check out my merch store using the link in the description. There you'll find this shirt as well as a bunch of other nifty designs. Supplies are limited, so get yours sooner rather than later. Now, remember how I said that ADA was 3% of my crypto portfolio? If you want the other 97%, you'll have to subscribe to my weekly newsletter. You can do this using the link in the description. It gives you the lowdown on all things crypto, including trading tips, investing tricks, spicy news, and even a preview of the hot crypto content I'm cooking up for upcoming videos. Every newsletter comes with a 100% spam-free guarantee. I hope you'll take my word for it. It's been a pleasure, as always, folks. I'll see you in the next one.